There are several benefits to kids from student-led conferences. First and foremost is a shift of accountability and responsibility away from adults and to students.
So here's the breakdown, and it shows the percentage in each of the learning targets that we did.
Oftentimes with traditional parent-teacher conferences in which the student is not present, they don't necessarily offer a full representation of what the student is doing in school and a full portrait of what the student can do in school.
So the experiment was in a group of 4, and we had to test the height of a ramp made out of different classroom materials.
The parent is hearing it directly from the student. The student is then responsible to not only know what they're doing in class, but also be able to explain it and also take responsibility when there might be shortcomings.
In this interim, I did well on some of the things, but on learning targets such as forms of energy and Newton's laws, I got really low scores that were below mastery. Something good about student-led conferences is that it really gives you a chance to re-evaluate your work and really explain to yourself and to the person you're presenting it to why you did something wrong, or if you did something good, how were you able to achieve that?
You said that you had some low scores there. What are you planning on doing to make those scores better?
Planning to make these scores better, like a 57 or a 66, I am planning on just going back over these learning targets and seeing where I made an error and practicing on that error to make sure that it doesn't really come up again in the future.
We always expect teachers to let us know how the kids are doing.
How do you measure academics with your students?
So we focus on measuring progress across the course of a year or a unit, and generally we'll start at the beginning of the year in something like writing, and we'll do what's called a baseline assessment. So we'll have a student do the best version of writing that they can do at that particular moment in time. And we look through the writing and try to identify a number of traits that they're either strong in or maybe need a little bit of work with.
I think that communication is the key. I think that once you communicate with your child and you learn, their struggles, I'm pretty sure that there's got to be a way of you helping out, adding your 2 cents and making it easier for them.
What kind of home support would you suggest that maybe we can take as parents in order to reach that goal?
It seems like one of the areas that needs the most work is related to answering specific content area questions. And so in addition to just taking a few minutes each night to review notes from that day, which can kind of keep things fresh in your mind in science, for example, a lot of it has to do with vocabulary and technical vocabulary that we don't use in our everyday speech and that you might not even be exposed to necessarily in a lot of the books that you choose to read.
When our kids are able to reflect on their struggles or their weaknesses, then they know a little bit better what their own learning style is, and they can take that with them into the next experience and benefit from that.